Hello and welcome back, everybody. We're here with SixJ, trying out some Mozaki Mage. He's going to be talking at me, trying to tell me how to play the deck as I learn it in Blizzard in-game chat. And so we're going to lead in with a description of uh, what the deck does. Thanks, SixJ for being here. He just told me that he likes to call himself 6J. Now it's like standardized, and he's trying to get that pronunciation out. I've been calling him 6Js for a long time, so I've gotta fix that. Anyway, yeah, 6J has Mozaki Mage. He's been doing really well at High Legend. He is currently rank 13 on NA. I don't know if you play any other servers, multiple 6J, but if you do, just NA. Okay, so yeah, really high rank on NA with this Mozaki Mage. I understand that you have been maining it for a while. I don't know 100% if it's the only deck that you play. I know I've seen you on Glare when I'm coaching other people and we queue into you, but it seems like you're mainly playing Mozaki these days. Is that accurate? Okay, yeah, primarily Mozaki. How many games do you think you have? I'm gonna guess like 500. Haven't counted, don't use deck tracker. Okay, that's actually really impressive. I feel like this deck, I don't know, maybe this deck, do you feel like this deck needs deck tracker, like to be played optimally? I mean, obviously you're playing optimally to the extent that you can without it, but do you feel like it would be improved if you had deck tracker up, or is it a deck that you can play without deck tracker? Because I mean, you know the 30 cards verbatim. You know if you have the damage based on, yeah, okay. Did you ever play with the deck tracker? I'd be curious to know if you ever had the deck tracker up and then just have like weaned yourself off of it. And you don't need it anymore, or because I generally play with the deck tracker, especially with like combo decks, just to make sure I know that I have certain cards. But um, man, you should try it. It's if you do end up playing on PC at all. I played mobile for like 3 years. It's workable, but it's difficult relatively. Yeah, yeah. APM Mage was probably not easy to play on mobile. That deck was fun, man. I never got above like a 50-55% win rate with it. Um, and then they nerfed some of the core cards, and it's well, they nerfed Refreshing Spring Water, and it's not as good. It was great for a while though. That was a fun meta. Um, I actually really liked the APM Mage meta. I know that's not like a super popular opinion, but um, I think if they had started to run Ice Block like really consistently across all ranks, maybe I wouldn't have liked it as much. But when you can kind of run aggro into it. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the deck. So 6J, correct me if I say anything that doesn't make sense, but I think the way that this deck is supposed to function, it's a Mozaki Mage deck. Mozaki is a 5-cost 3/8 minion that reads after you cast a spell, gain spell damage +1. So the way the deck functions, from what I understand, you have a deck that serves to draw itself, to draw towards Mozaki, with cards like Ancient Mysteries to draw the ice block. You have Research Project, which serves both as a mill on your opponent's cards and a way to draw extra cards. You have Arcane Intellect, um, and you have Refreshing Spring Water, and finally Talon to tutor Mozaki, or if you already have Mozaki, Sorcerer's Apprentices. Um, and so the early part of the game, from what I understand, is stall. You have a lot of freeze effects that if you can resource manage, it's better, but if you need to use them, they're a good way of dealing with early aggro. So you have Frost Nova to stall for a turn against a wide board or a tall board. You have Ray of Frost probably more for the combo turn, but it can in a pinch serve as a stall on a big giant if it's Dark Lair, a big threat that you need to neutralize for that turn. Ice Block is a really core part of this deck. You prevent fatal damage the turn that it happens on your opponent's turn and become immune that turn, so you don't die. And then you have another turn to do what you need to do, whether that's Mozaki and kill them, Ice Block up again, Frost Nova to stall. It's really a deck at its core, though, that aims to direct damage at face. So you have the early game stall, where you go, you know, early game freeze, draw, and mid game eventually find a Mozaki or a Talon or a way of drawing Mozaki, and then in the late game you, from what I understand, would play the Mozaki, maybe play a Sorcerer's Apprentice, play Ray of Frost, Cram Session, draw some cards, Ruined Orb on their face, Frostbolt on their face, Ice Lance on their face. Now, I forgot a core part of the deck. It's so obvious and intrinsic to Combo Mage, but Incanter's Flow is like probably the best card in this deck. I don't know if that screams accuracy to you, SixJ, but yeah. You always keep this card in the Mulligan, I believe, because if you play it on 2, it reduces the cost of the entire deck, except for the Sorcerer's Apprentice, the Talon, and the Mozaki, by 1. If you play a second one, it reduces them by another 1. So you stack those effects. You have a reduction on the entire deck of 2. And so every card in the deck costs 1 or 0. Once you have those 2 encounters flows up, except for Refreshing Springwater, which reads draw 2 cards and gain the mana back if you draw spells with the draw. So you only have 4 minions in the deck, and if you draw Sorcerer's Apprentice or Mozaki or Talon, that's completely fine. It's not the best sometimes, but you do need those cards to combo off, so that draw with Refreshing Springwater is real good. Conjure Mana Biscuit also serves as mana cheat, and then obviously we have Sorcerer's Apprentice, the classic villain of the mana cheat needs to stop being a thing, where we have a 2 mana 3/2 rather, where it reduces the cost of spells that you play by 1. So it's sort of an Encounter's Flow on your hand. Obviously Encounter's Flow works on your deck, and so this deck is real powerful. What was your most recent climb, 6J? Do you feel like you've gone from like low rank to 13, or have you just kind of been high rank and stuck to it with this deck? Like, what's the relative power level, I guess, of the deck compared to entered at 10? Okay. How does it do on the climb? Got to 1. Yeah, I saw you hit 1, man. That was pretty cool. Was that from not playing or the Stealer combo? Because that Stealer combo is brutal. Losing to Stealer, yeah. Yeah. Luckily they're nerfing that tomorrow, or banning it from Wild anyway. They're nerfing the deck. Aggro Rose to beat it, yeah, and aggro is difficult. I feel like you were farming, I think we talked earlier and you said you were farming Dark Lair, right? That probably helped a lot in the pre-Stealer meta. Yeah, yeah. So Dark Lair dies to this deck. The Ice Block will do a lot of work against Dark Lair. Ancient Mysteries into a free secret, and that secret is always Ice Block, means that you can beat Lotheb. You just... What do you think your win rate is against Dark Lair? I feel like mine's like 30 or maybe below as Dark Lair into Mozaki, and I'm not playing against great Mozaki players. So I'm playing at like, I was playing at 1,000. I climbed a lot today. Yeah, that seems about right. And I'm not like the best Dark Lair player, but I'm pretty good, and that win rate is abysmal. I usually have about a 60% win rate as Dark Lair at my rank, and 30% is not 60% by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah. When I was running the Zeph version, I had a little higher win rate, but my most recent version of Dark Lair has been Tiger Eye's version that he gave me on the 11th. I put a video or two out on that earlier, and he's not running Zeph right now, or he wasn't when I got the list from him. So the list that I've been running would probably die into this like 80% of the time. It's really trying to beat aggro, and will not do well into Mozaki. So I'm gonna hit up a game or two. I know we only have about 20 minutes, so I want to make sure we get at least most of a game in. I don't know if 1:30 my time is a hard stop for you, or if we can like flex that if we're in the middle or like towards the end of a game. I don't want to. I want to respect your time, SixJ, but okay, cool. So why don't we go in for a game, and we'll see how it goes. I hope this goes well. If it's not a win, then at least I'll learn something. I have not played a whole lot of Mozaki. I know you've played, you said about 500. I've played probably 50 games of Mozaki. I've played a whole lot of Burn Mage, but the Burn Mage build that I have is not a Mozaki build. So we found Incanter's Flow, but we don't have coin. My take is that this is going to be Secret Mage. What do you think the keep is, SixJ? I'm thinking we keep, yeah, just Flow. I'm thinking just Flow, toss the rest. We're going to find Mozaki later. And Springwater doesn't do anything on turns 1, 2, so. Right on. I feel like Secret Mage will do reasonably well, but you can play around it. If he's running Polymorph, it becomes harder. But we beat... Oh. How's the matchup against Even Mage? Have you played against any of them? I think we win, right? So, yeah. He might not even run Rat. Easy turn. Yeah, man. I think this is a good hand. We have some draw. In my Burn Mage that I've been messing around with that's running Spellzerker, I have the tendency to play Mana Biscuit, but I think we never play it, right? Because the initial Biscuit is a proc on Mozaki. Is that accurate? Talk to me about that. You want to play the Mana Biscuit? So, what do you think the play is here? I think we're saving Ray of Frost. Do we want to establish Ice Block? Or do we want a research project? We don't really want to draw him cards. But we want to draw cards. Okay, so just jam the Biscuit and pass? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Hold the block because he's not going to have a counterspell unless he gets it off of Runed Orb himself. I like that play a lot. So he's drawing more cards and has 7 in hand. We can't overdraw him with Research Project. This is another pass turn, right? Maybe Research Project and ping face? Doesn't really do much to ping face, but we can high roll the second Research Project too, and then we overdraw him 2 cards. I think we're afraid of me being new to the deck. SixJ. I think that's what we're afraid of. Um, yeah, mysteries happens, and I think that's the turn. There's nothing else we want to do. We're never afraid of 2/3s, so perfect. Um, this seems like it'll go well. We don't have any minions in hand, so if he dirty rats now, that's good. He's not a Reno deck. I've seen people play Reno, even Mage, so he could have had like a Zephrys or something, but okay, so my play here would be he does 2 damage with the hero power. I would freeze the board, I think, but that might be too proactive. Or too reactive of a play to play the Frost Nova. He's on 8 cards, so if we ping the 3/1, he goes to 9 and then 10. There's no overdrawing happening. He can overdraw us, Mozaki, so maybe we want to dump a card. Yeah, we play the more expensive block, right? We're not worried about pinging anything, yep. Yeah, I like that play. Now he has to have both copies of, his research project to mill us, and he's not doing that, so. Okay, cram session. We don't have draw, so we're probably not cycling cram session. We're gonna die, and then we're gonna be reborn. Yeah. Yeah, I like that play. See what we get. I like Cone of Cold. We got offered Cone of Cold, Kabbalist Tome, and Arcane Blast. Which deals 2 damage to a minion, and gets bonus damage from spell damage. Okay. Perfect. Is he overdrawing? Okay, he's not. And that's it, right? We never play the cram session. Okay. This seems to be going well. But he could find a way. If we don't draw, it might be kind of tough. But then we have chances to draw. So I'm real bad at calculating Mozaki damage, but I think right now we have enough if we get one more burn, right? Okay, only if we get really desperate for draw. My play is to ping the 3/1 and Frost Nova so that we don't die. Yep. Frost Nova was a good top deck. He can get Ragnaros off of the bird. Oh no, but that's odd. That card is so bad. True, because we would go like Mozaki, Ray of Frost. Oh wow, okay, so it's gonna be 15 and 15 with Ice Lance. Oh wait, yeah, but we draw into burn. Yeah, true facts. So we would go Frostbolt. We would go Mozaki, Ray of Frost, like Ice Block, Mana Biscuit, Frostbolt, Ice Lance, Cram Session to draw like 10 cards. If we got Mozaki right now. Something like that, yeah. I think we pass, yeah. So we just ping a minion and pass. Ping the most impactful minion, which ping face, okay. We ping face because we don't know for sure that we're going to draw well off of Gram Session. Okay, that works. So there's like a 0%. Oh, come on, man. Wow. Okay. Well, that just happened. Not even destroy the secret, but Kazan Mystic. Okay. I don't know, man. That was unexpected. I was not expecting Kazan Mystic. I just assumed we had an ice block. Yeah. Let's go in for one more. Maybe it'll be a better example of what the deck does, because we'll draw Mozaki before they steal our secret. Um, yeah. In the deck that is named after the card, drawing the card is generally good. It was a fun game. I mean, we got wrecked at the end, but like, it would have been a fun game, right? If we had gotten the oh cool, a priest. If we'd gotten the cards, and if they didn't have Kazan Mystic. I think this guy was on, yeah, this guy was on Mage last time I played him. Okay. Um, what do you think here, man? I'm leaning towards tossing Frostbolt. Do we keep Talon against like I think I remember this guy being on Res like Big Priest. Doesn't mean he is, but um, the only things I'm considering like how bad is Talon into Reno Priest? Because I'm not 100% sure. Toss the rest, look for flow and draw. Okay. How bad is Talon into Reno? I feel like it's fine, right? Because if it gets pulled by Rat, that's really good. Ancient Mysteries. We want the coin for combo turn, I would imagine. We also don't have anything to do with it, so just pass. Um, my only thought there was like coin mysteries and play the mysteries so that if he Elucia's later, he can't. It thins the deck by an ice block, and then he can't Elucia, Ancient Mysteries, play the ice block, and then that would be not great. Okay. Yeah, because we don't have another turn. That makes a lot of sense. And even if we top deck the block, we top deck an expensive block, we have the free block from the Ancient Mysteries. If we were playing against, or not playing against, but if we had drawn a block already, oh no, he did the big priest thing. I thought I was right, but I was wrong. Sag. So he can rat us. He can't. Oh, we found flow. I think we just jam flow and pass. Um, well, it's on curve. It should be a 3-drop. So we're floating a mana, but we're not really. Sorry about that, 6J. I thought that he was not Reno, but now I know. I play against this guy sometimes. This sucks. Shadow Visions into Seance. Yeah, not until turn 8, and we win before that. What do you think here? Yeah, I agree. He's on 7 cards. We could Research Project into Research Project, but that also forces us to use coin to not overdraw. Hello, Mozaki. That's the turn, right? Is it ever worth Research Project? Okay. Alright. It wouldn't be, of course, because we have Sork in hand. Oh yeah, Lucia. Good card. Do we go in here? I think we bluff that we don't have Mozaki by playing Talon. I'm not going to have enough time to do the combo this turn, even if I did. What do we do? And then there's a 1 out of 3. Draws us to 10 cards. What do you think here? Mistress block. He's going to play Zephyrus, and that uses his first extra Zeph. But it gets the thing out of the deck. Do we ping face or ping the 3/3, do you think? Oh yeah, true. He can play he can overdraw us here with Mukla. But that's a really poor use. Oh, thank God. He's already used Seance, so he has Raised Dead on the rat that would potentially win him the game. Okay. He's gonna silence that probably. So what's the order? Talk to me about the order. It's yeah, it's Mozaki, coin, Sork, dump the hand, win the game. Yeah. Cool, thanks man. I was really lucky that he didn't get rat into Mozaki there. Right on. So, I could have maximized damage by playing a Runed Orb. Or, not a Runed Orb, sorry. Research Project. Before I did all the rest of it, but I knew we had lethal, so I just went for it. How is that pop-off turn? Like, you know, 1 to 10. How'd I do? Worked fine. Fair enough. Would you have ordered things differently? Nah? Okay. Right on. Alright, so we're going to go back to the screen with the deck list on it. I'll just wrap up the video and then versus Odd Warrior if they have enough armor, and then versus what about versus any armor deck? Is it just any armor deck, or is Odd Warrior special in a certain way? Because I'd imagine Jade Druid we want to be careful too, right? Now obviously you don't want to overdraw the deck or anything, but yeah. So this is SixJ's Mozaki Mage. We got scammed by Kazan Mystic in the first game and destroyed a Reno Priest in the second game on, what was it, turn 6? I think it was turn 6. It might even have been turn 5. I wasn't looking at the clock there. Turn 6. So Talon did uh, not really feature, except that it's a really good distractor for Dirty Rat. I think that's maybe the best use case in the matchup against Reno Priest, right? It serves as dirty rat bait against decks with hand disruption. Yeah. Sorry, my headphones just died. I had to recharge them. So the yeah, Talon is good hand disruption bait, and obviously Mozaki not getting pulled won us the game against that deck that we just beat, that Reno Priest that got 3 Zephyrses. Let's look at the deck a little closer. Cram Session did work. 0 mana, draw 5 cards. Turns out it's pretty good. Incanter's Flow enables a lot of the shenanigans the deck does. We didn't get to use Research Project to mill, but that's always something you're watching out for when you're playing Mozaki Mage, is to be able to mill. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed that playing the deck, and then I think I've noticed it playing against the deck, is when they don't draw Cram Session, they tend not to have, like, that's when you win as Darkglare, is when they don't draw Cram Session, Research Project, and they just don't have the combo turn. I've won against people who just lose, as Mozaki, because they never draw the cards. Do you keep Research Project? You don't mean, oh, you mean like, to win in fatigue. Yeah, that makes sense. So you beat the block, right? Yeah, yeah. That's how you would beat the mirror. Is that always how you beat the mirror? I guess if they don't get a block, it's like a race to find blocks, right? And then if you don't get the block, you try to find Research Project. Do you keep Research Project in the Mulligan ever? With the deck that I homebrewed, I have the propensity to keep Incanter's Flow and Ruined Orb, but okay, Project is bad to keep. Yeah. Um, what are the cards you would keep? I mean, I think you always keep Flow, right? You ever not keep Flow? Flow always. Mysteries maybe against an aggro deck, but do you keep if you're that good at the game? Do you keep Sorcerer's Apprentice or not? As someone who doesn't really know, you don't. Okay, because you're gonna draw into it and you have Talon, right? Are there any other always keeps in the deck? There might not be. Are there any mostly keeps? Like where you would most of the time at least consider keeping them? Let me see what he's saying. Odd Warrior has Mutanus now, but you win before Mutanus, and they don't always run it, right? They probably don't usually run it. Yeah, I think it's probably the better card because if you're trying to beat a combo deck, you probably need to beat the combo deck earlier than the Mutanus turn. I would imagine. However, we're never playing minions, so Vol'jin doesn't actually beat us, right? Unless Odd Warrior has a way of generating Vol'jin targets, right? Because we don't play minions until we're comboing. Okay, early combo, you draw 15 or so that's going to be an APM turn. Yeah, you just don't draw until late game. That makes sense. I mean, Odd Warrior is a fatigue deck at core, so if you're not um, drawing cards to fatigue yourself, I feel like it's a pretty skill-intensive matchup in that you have to know how to beat Odd Warrior to consistently beat it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can just win, but you don't want to draw past 7 cards. Do you consider not drawing past 5 if you're able to and it's turn 6 or after to play around like Brand Cold Light or Double Cold Light? Or is that just too niche that they would have it? They're not drawing as much as we are generally. Okay. So generally you try to stay at 7 against Odd Warrior then it looks like. I appreciate you doing this, man. This is a deck I've really wanted to learn. It seems really powerful. I've lost to it a lot as Dark Lair, and I've lost to it as other decks, but obviously Dark Lair is the deck I play the most. And yeah, so this was really cool. I know you said you have to go at 130. It's almost 130. Well, it's past 130. It's almost 145. But if you want to do this again sometime on YouTube or on stream, or just you know teach me the deck off camera, that'd be super appreciated. I know you're coming out with a guide soon, so if you want to plug the guide, um, you can do that now if you wanted to talk about or type about what the guide is going to be, when you think it might come out. Right on, yeah. So make sure you guys follow SixJ underscore wild HS for more information on the Mozaki Mage guide that's coming out. He's going to get it out in the next few days. So yeah, it's written. He's coordinating posting. Yeah, man, that's really exciting. We have a guide out for Dark Lair, me and Tiger Eye, and you guys should check that out too. But that's not really content of this video. He's saying the guide includes general tips for the deck, the most common matchups. Make sure you follow multiple or 6J over on Twitter. You don't stream, do you, or do you do anything else social media related that we should get you plugged for, so people know you don't stream? Then I assume Twitter would be the social media, or is there anywhere else people can find you? Just Twitter. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Twitter's the place to go. Um, all right, I am gonna end this recording. I think we've done a good job of talking over uh, the basics of the deck. I am certainly still learning it. That game against the Reno Priest, having your help was super helpful. I would have made, I don't know if you could call them misplays, but I would have misjudged the situation. So 6J, multiple J, was hoping to be a silent voice on this video, so I just had to quick let him know that the video wasn't over yet. Anyway, just to wrap it up really quick before we go into chatting 6J, make sure you follow 6J for more information on the Mozaki Mage guide coming out. Make sure that you follow me. You probably already know where to find me. I stream on Twitch, Glare, twitch.tv/Glare, GlareHS on Twitter. My is at Glare_HS. And as far as other places to find me, I am on YouTube. If you found this video, you found it on YouTube, so you know my YouTube is GlareHS. I think that's all my socials: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you 6J for the help, the coaching, and for being willing to do this video. And yeah, I am gonna end the recording, and then I will let you know when it's ended, 6J, and we can chat.